Do you ever miss those days where you had the last day of school and you were free for the summer? Me too. I'm missing them right now. Today is actually my son's last day of his sophomore year of high school, and my daughter's last day of seventh grade is tomorrow. And so naturally, I've been thinking about this idea of endings and how once we were in school, we had these real endpoints where the school year would end and something totally different, the summertime, would begin. And nowadays, for most of us, there are fewer big endpoints that get marked in that same way. I think many of us are feeling in the culture right now like there's starting to be an ending of COVID restrictions and an ending of potentially mask wearing and all the things that you couldn't do: restaurant eating, movies, going to concerts, sporting events, coming back online again. But that's a little bit more of a gradual ending for most people rather than a defined ending. And I think that there is something in some ways beautiful about endings because they give us a sense to really stop and reflect, and they demarcate one part of our life from another part of our lives. So, for many people, too, when you were commuting into the office every day, there was a natural ending to the workday. When you commuted home, there was that transition time, and then you came home. Or if you flew somewhere for a business trip, there was that transition time on the plane home, and then you would arrive home. So in our lives pre COVID, I think there were more natural endings. But I think it's important to create your own rituals and ways that you can sort of demarcate one point in your life from another point in your life. Maybe it's celebrating at the end of a project with your team, even if it's virtual. Send everyone a fun popcorn basket, and have like a movie, have a movie afternoon on your computer screens, or everyone can watch Netflix. I think a lot of people have it these days. Whatever you want to do, how do you really celebrate with a project team that one thing has ended before just picking up and going on to the next thing? Similarly, are there ways you can celebrate things, new skills you've gained, or things that have grown for you during the pandemic? Is there a way to celebrate, in some ways, the ending of that learning and the beginning of maybe your next learning? Um, Oftentimes, we get performance reviews, and what's really amazing about those, if they're done well, is that they can celebrate what you've learned in the past year as well as setting goals for the next year. But if you don't have those type of performance reviews in your organization, or they're not done as artfully as they could be, that's a great way for you to show up for your team and to start celebrating, hey, what is it that you've accomplished, whether it's the past 3 months, 6 months, year, and then what do we want to work on together for you in the next 3 months, 6 months, year. So that's my challenge to you this next week. Think about one ending you have, whether it's a really clearly demarcated ending or just something that you can find an ending in your world, and think about how you want to honor it and what ritual you want to put in it to really make it special and then to open you up for the next new beginning that's on the way. I'm Jo Ilfeld of Insight to Leadership, and I hope you enjoyed this learning snack.